Welcome to Two Voices. I'm On.
And I'm Alfred.
And at each stage, I think it's up to the individual writer to decide, hey, this is what is appropriate for me at this moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, did you find value personally in the beginning going to those workshops? Because I went to East-West Players.
Yeah.
Then I tried individual workshops where people, but that didn't really work for me because the people that they were attracting were more like writing as a hobby. And that writing diary entries, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something different. So it's just, and each group is different. And then ultimately, I went to USC.
Yeah.
And that was my path because I needed more, I guess, elevated instruction as I grew.
Sure. I think it has to do with, especially when you're in a classroom setting where you're surrounded by other writers. It depends on the caliber of writers.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I was at the Masters, they were all very good writers. By far, the most of them were people like I at least enjoyed listening to hear them read. But then, before that, I was doing an extension class at university, and I was just like, some of these people were hobbyists, like you said, and they really hadn't practiced their craft enough to really be doing anything very interesting.
Yeah.
So,
and at that point, if not only they're not doing anything interesting, but they can't give you feedback because they don't have the
they're not
tech skills in a sense.
Right. Yeah, they're not at the level you're at yet.
Yeah. See, I view it more like writing workshops and all this stuff. It's like vocational training. You know, you're learning a skill. You're learning the skill of writing.
Right.
And there's just many different paths to that because writing is such an individual thing as well.
True. Very much so. So, yeah, there are a lot of paths, and it's not always clear which is the correct path, even to the person who's on the path.
Yeah.
I think, like, for example, my master's was good in that the feedback I was getting was typically good feedback. I liked the other things people had to say. The one before that, not so much. But like what I really want, and I don't necessarily feel like I'm getting anymore. And I don't think that's necessarily because of a deficiency in the programs, it's so much just like the impossibility of the task. It's like I want to learn something new about structure. I want to learn something new about like how do you write something.
But that's,
and I get those like little tiny bits here.
Specialized training.
Yeah.
You know, and there's not enough people, I think, who've reached that level, or if they have, they're writing and they're not teaching.
Maybe, or
Where is the community?
That.
Where is the community for these professionals?
Yeah, if those that can't teach is what it's kind of like. It's like, well, if they could, write $1 million blockbuster scripts, they wouldn't be teaching it, would they?
Or they're just focused on writing, because what are you and I doing? We're just writing. We're not out there trying to teach people, trying to get into a formal educational program to help other writers, because we want our time to be towards our own work.
Or like myself, I'm wondering where the value. I mean, like, what can I actually provide as far as being a teacher? Because, on one hand, I'm thinking that there is certain essential values that need to be learned, but after that, like, people have their own unique voices.
But that's the thing. That's what a teacher would do. They create that environment so those unique voices could be able to emerge.
Okay.
That's the value of an instructor. But not everyone has that, I guess, goal or that drive to do that for other writers.
Yeah.
Because we become, it's a selfish thing. We're writing. I want to learn from me. Yeah. And I want to help other people, but it's a balance. I mean, am I spending all this time helping other people find their voice, or I'm going to spend all that time actually writing the stories that are in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. I'd love to have that community, but I don't think that works in today's day and age. Like, where do you go? I mean, in the past, people congregated in art places like San Francisco, New York, maybe LA, but even now, everything is just so fractured with the internet, with distance, with...
Well,
technology has actually not helped. I don't think so.
Just a no. I mean, in one way it doesn't. In another way, it's like you have these social media hubs that allow people from all over to like contribute. You know, writing. Like my problem with a lot of these social media sites is not so much that they're low value, more that they're just a little too addictive. It's like, you know, I mean, like I can be on them and that they are set up in a way to actually encourage you to be there forever. But there are quite good writing out there on.
No, there is.
Yeah, and the tricky thing is though that you know, they're not also safe spots, safe places, because people, when you're in a classroom or just face to face, regardless, social norms are accepted and followed much more than in internet
I don't
forums,
know, like,
you know?
respect.
Yeah, like respect,
manners.
manners, you know, not something like you're an asshole, you fucking suck, and you should never teach.
Versus it's not constructive.
Yeah,
but that's why I'm saying,
yeah.
yes, you can reach out to more people, but it's not quality.
Yeah, right.
So
the feedback
to me,
isn't
it's valueless.
Yeah, I'd say the feedback is actually far worse, but you get quality writing nonetheless, because, you know, depending on the social the social media forum, a lot of them have like voting qualities too, so that they can get up and down. And I think there's definitely wisdom in crowds when it comes to the voting system, like things that people write that are actually quite interesting and funny get to the top more.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's great that people have avenues to connect to more people and have their works read.
Right.
And share it, because that's the value of it. But it's so dehumanizing, I think.
Yeah. I think the fact that writers are fragile creatures by and large, you know.
Well, we wear our ego on our sleeve.
I think that's part of it, but I think also a lot of the reason why people write is that they, you know, find they can't really communicate vis-a-vis as well, or they just prefer this somewhat solitary act of writing to being in a social environment. So these are people who are probably more sensitive to critique than the other people, because
I don't know about that. I think everyone is sensitive to critique. It's personal.
Yeah.
Because the problem is a lot of people take it personally when it should really be approached as constructive. But that's where I think a teacher, a good instructor can bridge that and let people understand, hey, this is not about attacking each other. This is about giving your feedback in a constructive manner to not only help that person, but in a way to help yourself, because as you're delving into someone else's work, you can start seeing, oh, I don't want to do that, or oh my God, I want to do that. But you know what I mean? So there's value back and forth
right
within that protected structure.